All right, so what you're going to want to do for this tutorial is go over to your edit, preferences, and what you want to be in are the add-ons. And what we're looking to do here is initiate the node wrangler. If you don't have that selected, you're going to need that. Make sure you have the node arrange and the node presets. But the node wrangler is going to be the biggest part of this short tutorial. And I will see you on the other side of it. All right, everybody, welcome back to another Clean Mesh tutorial from Clean Mesh Studios on YouTube. This is just a little bit of a teaser on some fractals that we'll go over in another tutorial. Figured I'd just give you a little teaser here, something that I will absolutely cover again. So come check that out as I frequently update my YouTube channel. You can like and subscribe for more. You can come see me on Patreon. And what I'm going to do here is just start a new. I'm going to hit A for everything and delete all that out. I'm just going to drop in a UV sphere, kind of scale that baby up just a little bit. G and Z to bring it up. Spacebar, type in shade. Let's shade it smooth. And I really want to add a subdivision surface to this, but just do one level and go ahead and click apply. Now I'm going to jump over to the shading tab and show you a couple of cool ways to add textures. And you can click new, spacebar, texture, and you can put an image texture in and tie it in, and that's just fine. But we don't really want to do it that way. So what you can do is you can hit Control T, and Blender in a second will turn that black. Okay, that lets you know that your target is good and that this is all pointing to that. So if you want to come in here to textures and put something on here, it'll go ahead and map it out for you. And now that actually looks terrible. I really don't like that at all. So if you were to leave your texture like that with just one part, just like that's just the difference anyways. We don't do it that way. So what I would do is just get rid of all that, click new, come over here, and we'll find a good texture for this, because if you just add one image texture and you don't put the roughness and the other things that it's going to need to point to give you that nice depth and a really good clean overall texture on your mesh, then you're kind of wasting your time. So hold Control and Shift, hit T, and from here I went ahead and selected one of my favorites, and we've got a base color. And so if you just put that in, just the base color, that's all you get. So don't want to do it like that. Control Shift T, and you can pick up to 4 different things. So I'm just going to get that base color with the normals and hit enter. And once you've done that, give it just a second to catch up. Now you see it's actually mapping individually the base color, metallic, it's got the normals and the displacement. And over here also, in its own nice neat little frame, you've got your texture coordinate and your map. And here you can kind of change this around if you want a little bit, but usually where it's at initially is just fine. And you can see that's actually, it looks like the bump map. If you were going to do like a noise texture or something, it looks really good. And so we've got the normal map to the normals, and it literally just maps everything else. And these screens are killing me. Let me get rid of this real quick, join these areas, and get a little more real estate so it can show you everything. So for displacement, it drops in a displacement node, automatically connects everything to your material output. And I mean, you can't ask for better. So it's just Control Shift T, and then you've got something that looks a lot better. Let's check it out in cycles. And I'm going to have to switch it because it's going to always be on the Eevee engine. Now there's really nothing to see there yet, so what I'm going to do is I'll drop in a mesh, and I'm going to do a cube. I'm really liking using just a cube for it. I'm going to turn on origins, and snap and press G and Z and bring that up all the way to the top. And now I want to turn off the origins. And you can get origins over here as well. From here, let's see, with snapping still on, G and Z, and it snaps the top of that to the plane. So now I'll scale that on Z, and you see how it stays there. That's really nice. And what you'll notice is that when you're using a cube, which is an actual mesh 3D object, you'll find that the physics, like rigid body world and things like that, will work a heck of a lot better on this. So let's just add some light to this. Shift A, let's bring up lights, let's put a 3-point tri-light on that, and then I'm gonna select these lights individually and go down to the light bulb, and I can kind of shift the color a little bit, turn the power up to say 50 on that one, and from behind, that one can kind of stay low, just giving a little extra light. Now this one I want to add power of 150, and shine some nice light onto it. That actually looks pretty good. I can go ahead and enable shadow caustics there. Let's go to the world, turn on shadow caustics, and I'll go to the object as well. Let's go to object properties. Okay, where'd it go? There we go, shading. Let's have that cast shadow caustics, and that should look pretty good in just a second. All right, let's zoom in on that just a little bit and get a much better view. All right, that actually looks pretty good. There's some depth there. It looks kind of real. At least as real as it's going to get for right now. There's a few more things we can do to clean this up. I'm going to move over to the Eevee just a little bit so you can kind of zoom in there. It's not looking all pixelated. You can see when you add the textures through the shading and you do the nodes and you do it the right way, you can get an insane amount of detail and depth. So it looks. All right, with that, let's go ahead and create a little bit of a better background. So with the mesh cube, which is our ground plane, let's shift D. And what I'll do is I'll just rotate that on like the Y, and then hit 90 on the number pad, and G and X to kind of move that back. And let's see, which way are we facing here? All right, so I want to align the camera. So I'll click Align View and align active camera to that view. And so this isn't lit very well back here. So let's see, where is this light? Let's tap R to kind of change that a little bit, bring it up to say 300, maybe 1000. There you go, that's a little bit better. Casting some like multiple shadows though. I'm not crazy about how that looks. So that looks pretty good there. All right. And from here, I just want to check my output and see if this is going to some kind of temp file, and I don't want it doing that. So I'll select my D drive, which is just my place. You can go anywhere you want. I'll just go here, create a new folder, and I'll just call this gold ball for now. And accept, and now all the output's just going to go there. And I don't have to change too much else because I'm not actually animating this. Let's see, where am I set? I'm not going to do like 25 samples. And if I denoise that and take a look at it. Alright, that's pretty cool. You can kind of see where the light's hitting it there. You've got the, looks like a bump map, you know, because the mapping is on it. Still looks pretty good, and I think it's going to come out a lot better in the render. So let's just jump back over to the object mode, and I'll take this and I'll just make a couple of copies so that I can have something different. And I'll go in here to the object properties, add a new material, then let's go into material preview so we can see what's going on. I'll take this one and remove it, And now I've got something new here. I'll change this to a glass BSDF. And I will remove all of the roughness. And I'll actually put a light inside of that one. Just a little point light. Kind of press G, and I think I'll move it over a little bit. Oh, I still got snap on. There we go. That's gonna fight you. So G and X to get that light in there, and then G and Y to kind of move it back over. You can just press 7 on your number pad, and it will take you back there as well. And for this one, I want to go ahead and remove that material, but I'm going to add a new one first, and then select this one and remove it. And then I will call this one a light emission. Turn this to like something a little bit more colorful. And then this light, I can change the color of that as well. Get like a little bit of a yellow background. Seems pretty good, so I'm just going to go ahead and render that image. And if you want to get your camera view, you can press 0 on your number pad, and you'll see what is or isn't in there. Actually, so let's get the camera selected before we get too far. Come down, click the camera icon, and around the 50mm mark, just kind of turn that a little bit. And you can use G to move the camera around too. And so that's going to be the rendered view right there. And I'm just going to scale this stuff up so you don't see any of those corners. All right. Straight to render, and we'll see how it looks. Okay. All right, rendering is done, and I only did 25 samples, but that is not too bad. The shadows are pretty cool. You've got your glass BSDF. The light didn't turn out like I wanted to, but that's okay. Can fix that. There's a lot of ways to work on it. The main focus was texturing and getting familiar with the Node Wrangler. And so the possibilities with the Node Wrangler, I mean, there's so many options to learn. It's going to make your workflow a lot easier.